His Majesty makes things with his own hands. He said that a craftsman means a person who makes things with his hands. This does not simply mean that things are made with our hands, but with our brain. The brain sends orders to the hands to move and create things. Therefore, craftsmanship is the work that integrates the work of brain and hands. This excerpt from the interview given by Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Sirinthorn obviously reflects the craftsmanship habits of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej. His interests in seeking first-hand experience of craftsmanship skills since his childhood became the tool that makes him the developer king, who is filled with ability and wisdom. August the 19th, 1946 marked an important day in His Majesty's life. While sitting in the car, His Majesty could hear a voice of someone crying out loudly, "Don't desert your people." He then wanted to call back, "If the people don't desert me, how could I abandon them?" This seemed to be the first promise he gave to his people. Later, on May the 5th, 1950, at his coronation, His Majesty delivered the first royal oath, stating, "We shall reign with righteousness for the benefit and happiness of the Siamese people." This reflected His Majesty's high determination in pursuing the royal activities for the benefit of the Thai nation. The first episode of His Majesty's development work began with the royal visits to see his subjects in all the regions throughout the country. The nation's roots had led him to be familiar with the topographical conditions of the country, the way of life, as well as the diverse culture and traditions of the people. This set the beginning of the Royal Archives, which collect important information for the development of the nation. Above all, His Majesty had been touched by happiness and warmth amidst his big family, which is his subjects. Seeing the topographical conditions of the area and the way of life of the people, the major initiatives at the initial stage of His Majesty's reign focused at relieving the urgent plight and trouble of the people in terms of medical care, public health, social welfare, and education. His Majesty found that the majority of people were poor and underprivileged due to unproductiveness of the soil. In the following decades, since 1966, His Majesty's initiatives emphasized solutions to the problems related to soil, water, forest, and agriculture. He started conducting research and experimentation in agriculture in different forms, which led to the beginning of the Royal Chitlada projects taking place in the palace compound. His Majesty also lessened the people's difficulties in occupations and living, for example by giving fish breeds such as Java tilapia and Nile tilapia for further distribution among his subjects. He commanded the construction of Khao Tao Reservoir and Hoi Mong Khon Road in Hua Hin district of Prachuap Khiri Khan province, which was known as the first rural development project initiated by His Majesty the King. These three palaces came into existence in the following decade. They served as the centers of morale and encouragement for the people living in remote areas close to the borderlines. At the same time, these palaces act as his office headquarters, which enable him to deeply assess the core of the problems in each particular area. This marked the starting point of the long-term development projects, all of which have provided great benefits for the Thai people up to the present time. Development of the nation must be carried out in stages, starting with the laying of the foundation by ensuring the majority of people have their basic necessities. The royal address given in 1974 showed the royal initiative that set the model for His Majesty's development principle, which he has continuously followed throughout the course of time. The principle is that the people are the center of the development. which must be strong and self-sufficient at the individual level first. Then, the development of the community and the nation will gradually follow. More importantly, the crucial tools for human development which His Majesty has invented are the 6 Royal Development Study Centres situated in all the regions of the country. The centres act as a prototype of integrated development initiated by His Majesty. Officials from various government agencies jointly work together based on the concept of knowing how to treasure unity. Simultaneously, the centres offer a one-stop service which the people can access for learning in a comprehensive manner, in order to be able to apply the knowledge gained on their own lands.
ดีมากครับดีมากเพราะจากที่ว่าชาวบ้านทำโดยที่ไม่รู้อะไรกับมีเจ้าหน้าที่ที่มีความรู้มาให้ความรู้เราทางศูนย์ทุกสายก็มีเจ้าหน้าที่มาคอยแวะมาเยี่ยมอยู่เสมอถ้าเกิดทางศูนย์มีความรู้ใหม่ก็จะมาบอกชาวบ้านให้ไปอบรมไปดูงานก็เป็นนี้ตลอดนะ
With sharp, profound and far-sighted wisdom, His Majesty has laid a foundation with the aim of making the people strong and healthy, and to give them an opportunity to pursue education for occupational promotion purpose. Examples are the development of water sources to relieve the problems of flooding, water shortage and water pollution, the development of agriculture in terms of plants, animals and fishery, the development of natural resources and the environment, namely conservation of the watershed areas and mangrove forests, the solutions to the problem of water pollution by natural means, and the use of mechanical aeration devices called Chaipatana aerators, the solutions to the problem of traffic congestion in Bangkok metropolis by networks of roads, and the research and experimentation in alternative energy in different forms, ranging from gasohol to biodiesel. When Thailand encountered the growth of the bubble economy coupled with the deterioration of the environment as a result of the progress of the industrial sector, His Majesty granted an initiative which depicted his far-sighted vision for the effective tackling of the problem. His Majesty offered to the Thai people an initiative, the New Theory Farming Practice, which is a systematic set of guidelines for effective management of land and water in a limited area to ensure optimum benefits. The great economic crisis which took place in 1997 provoked trouble affecting the Thai people in all sectors of production. His Majesty the King then gave the people the initiative concerning the philosophy of sufficiency economy, which is a philosophy guiding the middle path in all modes of conduct in daily life for the people at all levels. This has become the main pillar for all sectors of the Thai people to adhere to in order to survive through the crises. Many businesses and enterprises adjusted their operations, regained strength, and started to progress in a secure and sustainable manner. Mr. Chanti Pratumpa, a wise man of the northeast, residing in Dalatsai sub-district, Chumphon district, Nakhon Ratchasima province, has overcome the crisis in a life full of debts and restarted a new life by adhering to the philosophy of sufficiency economy.
จากคนเป็นหนี้เป็นสินแล้วกลายเป็นมีอยู่มีกินไม่มีหนี้ไม่มีสินมีลูกหลานคืนถิ่นมีครอบครัวอบอุ่นมีชุมชนที่เข้มแข็งเพราะบารมีของพระบาทสมเด็จพระเจ้าอยู่หัวที่ท่านประทานว่าเศรษฐกิจทฤษฎีใหม่หรือเศรษฐกิจพอเพียงทำให้ผมได้ปฏิบัติตามคำสอนของท่านแล้วมาทำประสบความสำเร็จ
The business sector has adopted the philosophy of sufficiency economy in reinforcing the strengths of the organization, making progress from management based on sufficiency economy, as well as building good relationships among the executives, employees, and the community. The businesses administered their capital rationally, became self-dependent, enhanced self-immunity, and utilized the existing resources in a worthwhile manner to ensure maximum benefits. The year 2007 marks His Majesty's reign of over 60 years. This is a long period during which he has been exercising considerable efforts to offer alternative methods for healing the people's plight. This led to the creation of more than 3,000 royal development projects located in all regions of the country and embracing all fields of the people's occupations to enable them to live a secure and sustainable life. And now His Majesty has turned 80. 80 years, 8 decades during which he has become synonymous with the word Thai. 8 decades of the development work during which the Thai people have been guided by the light of wisdom from His Majesty's initiatives. 8 decades of his devotion, both physically and intellectually, for the happiness and benefit of the Thai people, which truly prove His Majesty's strong will as expressed in the first royal oath. And above all is His Majesty's kind heart, full of deep and endless compassion and concern for his subjects, as shown in an excerpt from a royal address. The people are happy. I am happy too.